So there's blockbuster new evidence that's been released on the first day of testimony in the deadly subway chokehold trial of former Marine Daniel Penny. Penny's charged with manslaughter in the death of Jordan Neely on board a New York City subway car in May of 2023. Penny claiming his actions were in self-defense after Neely, a homeless man with a history of mental illness, allegedly began shouting at passengers on that train car. And when those shouts turned to threatening demands, the defense said today Penny did the only thing he could do: intervene to protect himself and the other subway riders. But the prosecution said in the openings today that Penny went way too far, and they released new police body cam footage with their first witness, a NYPD officer that they say proves their case. NewsNation investigative correspondent Rich McHugh has more.
Hey, Connell. Yeah, ultimately, this video could be a big deal for the defense because it shows when NYPD officers arrived, Jordan Neely was alive. The jury first saw this video today, and it shows that when NYPD officers bend down, they determine that Jordan Neely, in fact, has a pulse. Take a look.
I feel a pulse. You feel a pulse? Keep breathing, right?
Try it on the wrist. Try it on the wrist. This one?
You got a pulse. You got a pulse. Keep breathing. I feel a pulse. You got a pulse. You got a pulse.
The prosecutors say Marine veteran Daniel Penny didn't intend to kill Jordan Neely on a New York subway, but went way too far in trying to neutralize him. They argued Penny's, quote, indifference is what led him to disregard basic precautions and cause his death. According to Daniel Penny, Jordan Neely was threatening to kill everyone on the train, that he was willing to go to prison for the rest of his life. Penny says he sprang to action, pinning Neely to the ground and putting him in a chokehold for 6 minutes. His lawyers say he acted in self-defense. Penny stated to police that he had intended only to keep Neely from harming others. Penny's attorneys have said they want the jurors to understand from his perspective what it felt like to be in that stressful situation, confined in a small box. They say they will introduce Neely's mental health issues and that he was high on the drug K2 at the time. The former Marine has pleaded not guilty. He faces up to 15 years in prison if convicted of second-degree manslaughter, up to 4 years if convicted of negligent homicide. Now, this trial, Connell, is expected to last all of a month, possibly longer, stretching into December. Back to you.
All right, Rich McHugh reporting there. Let's break it down further with our legal panel. Trial attorney Mercedes Colwin joins us, along with Misty Maris, another trial attorney and legal analyst. M&M here. We're always good to have both of you on with us to talk about this. It's, you know, Rich was talking about it. I'll start with you, Misty, about the fact that the guy was alive when they got there. So that's, you can see it in the video. How does that work into things?
So that's really going to factor in what the defense is going to raise as causation. Was the chokehold itself actually the cause of Jordan Neely's death? And that's, the defense has already laid the foundation for that. We heard in some of the cross-examination today, defense questioning about the acts of the officers. Why wasn't there mouth-to-mouth resuscitation? What was the status at the time? And so they're going to try and undercut the case by saying there were other issues that resulted in Jordan Neely's death. It was not Daniel Penny's chokehold. If you cut off that causal element of the case in a manslaughter case, then that could lead to an acquittal, and that's the position the defense is taking.
What about intent when it comes to manslaughter, Mercedes here? 6-minute chokehold. What is the jury going to be instructed to look at?
Well, it's interesting because right from the get-go, even the prosecution said it's not that Daniel Penny intended to kill, obviously, what happened, the intended result. He did not have any intent to do any of this to cause the harm that led to Neely's death. So they're focusing on the intent from the very get-go on the prosecution side, because they understand that's going to be something that is going to be very focused by the defense. There is no intent to kill Jordan Neely. There was no intent. The only intent there was to protect himself and to protect the other strap hangers. So the intent is really out the window, especially when you talk about the elements of the crime. It's involuntary manslaughter, meaning that there was some level of negligence, gross negligence, that resulted in the death of Jordan Neely. So the fact that he didn't intend to result in his death and take actions that result in the death, that's really not the issue. The issue is going to be, was there sufficient self-defense? And exactly what Misty said, you remove the causation argument, that really will result in the acquittal. We'll see how effective the defense will be in that regard.
We will.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.